In this video I want to share my thoughts about Mavuka's design, lore, and roles in Archon's story. Her design is amazing and is somewhat based on the community, as a lot of people kept joking about Mavuka riding a bike. So Hoyoverse, by what I see, thought it would be funny to add it in the game. And I personally love it. My friends love it. Most of the people I meet online love it. Hoyoverse even added lore for it. Let me quickly explain its lore. After the Archon died and passed down the Pyro Archon status to Mavuka, she took its remains, looked all over Natlan for essential parts, as well as Fulgiston, and gave it to Zilenin. That's when they ended up forming the bike. We could even see the dragon head on Mavuka's bike when she dashes. Fulgiston, if you don't already know, contains a lot of power and could form into whatever the person desires if they have the brain power to do so. Fulgiston was a gift from another world and was first utilized by dragons way before Natlanese had their hands on it. In fact, their technology was more advanced than the Natlanese people, such as giant floating mechanisms and a statue controlled by a soul that controls water levels in a cave. Now that the bike has been explained, we could move back. I could share my thoughts about her design, which is fine except the 360 zipper. That wasn't needed, but it's understandable, as she needs to quickly take off clothes in some circumstances. But that's not all. It is also used for thirst trap, I believe. This may not be correct, but I can think it is. Now let's go on to her lore. For this, I'll hope you watched her entire story BC. I don't feel like explaining a 2-page essay worth of lore, but I will say when she was a child she kept training and training, even going past her limits, until she was finally strong enough to attend the tournament where she proved herself to be a strong warrior. She was also known to be a curious girl, always asking questions about stuff. She did experience many hardships throughout her life, such as her friends, parents, siblings, comrades, dying in war. Why do I mention this? It explains why she is so perfect. Whenever she makes a decision, she tries to avoid all past mistakes that she has experienced before to get the best results. But even with past experiences, she had troubles with the death god. But that's where Capitano stepped in to sacrifice himself in place of her. Thus allows us to transition to the Archon quest, which, compared to Mavuka's lore, isn't much. Things were just handled too easily, even though yes, she uses past experiences to solve current problems. It was just too simple. That's the main problem. The second problem was that Hoyo didn't explain why she was able to do something such as perfectly lining up the war. For those who didn't know, that Mavuka was in many wars, which is how she knew to form the war. But even with her knowledge, she couldn't prevent deaths during the war. People say things happened too perfectly for her when us, the traveler, and many more was assisting, and like the saying, a bunch of ants can take care of a spider better than one. She and the people of Natlan was able to take out the war, but at the heavy cost of thousands if not millions of lives. Those who say, I quote, Mavuka too perfectly was able to collect the ancient warriors, when us traveler helped her majorly in collecting the warriors. I don't blame y'all though, as Hoyo didn't explain it much in the story, so it left a lot of people hanging on that she kept perfectly doing things and was just too good when she lost a lot and been through many things in the past 500 years, which leads her to her current state. Like the Undying Flame, she shows that even though she has been through a lot and came through many fails, she kept going and finally won in the war. To fix the current problem, Hoyo should have showed how she was prepping throughout her life and wasn't just winging out a random chance of luck. Almost forgot to mention why she didn't need to sacrifice like the previous Archon had to. She simply avoided his mistakes and ended up not needing to. There was other reasons, but I forgot, so you could search it up yourself. If I missed any questions, please tell me in the comments so I could answer them.